Alexandra Eala hits new career best milestone right before the Australian Open. Alexandra Eala has enjoyed a strong start to her 2026 season, having reached the semifinals of the ASB Classic. Elina Svitolina clinched the ASB Classic title in Auckland, winning her final against Wang Xinyu, who knocked out Eala. The 20-year-old was the fourth seed at the WTA 250 tournament, but was beaten 7-5, 5-7, 4-6 by 7th seed Wang. Still, she can be really proud of her efforts in Auckland, where she also reached the double semifinals alongside fellow young star Iva Jovic. Alexandra Eala earns career-high rank ahead of Australian Open debut. Eala and Jovic beat Venus Williams and Svitolina in their opener, while the Filipino ace beat the likes of Donna Vikic and Magda Linette in singles. Thanks to her efforts, the rising star has now risen to number 49 in the WTA Tour rankings, which represents a career high. It is a fantastic achievement from the 20-year-old, and one that should provide her with a massive confidence boost at such a key stage of the season. The Australian Open is rapidly approaching, with Eala now set to enter the hardcourt tournament on a real high. She is featured at the French Open, Wimbledon and the US Open, but is now set to make her Australian Open main draw debut. Alexandra Eala's entire WTA rankings history. Eala has achieved fine success in her brief career on the WTA Tour so far, typified by her rapid rankings rise. She claimed a WTA 125 title at Guadalajara in the 2025 season, during which she also reached the Eastbourne final. But her finest efforts undoubtedly arrived in Miami, where the wildcard beat Iga Swiatek and Madison Keys before a semifinal loss to Jessica Pegula. In her first Grand Slam season, she suffered first-round exits at the French Open and Wimbledon, before reaching the US Open second round. She did attempt to qualify for the Australian Open main draw in 2023, 2024, and 2025, but fell short every time. Even with an unflattering record, Eala will still likely pose a threat in Melbourne, where the top players will certainly want to avoid her early on. Alexandra Eala, soaring on the eve of a Grand Slam. In the world of professional tennis, stories of grit, poise, and ascension are timeless, but few are as vibrant and inspiring as that of Alexandra Eala, the 20-year-old Filipino sensation whose star continues to rise. Just days before the 2026 Australian Open, Eala has surged to a new career-best ranking of world number 49, a remarkable milestone that caps off an extraordinary ascent and signals her arrival among the elite of the Women's Tennis Association WTA Tour. A new high before Melbourne's heat. As the tennis world turns its gaze to Melbourne Park, where the Australian Open's hard courts blaze under January sun, Alex Eala arrives not just as a competitor, but as a trailblazer. Her recent semi-final run at the ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand, propelled her up 4 spots in the WTA rankings, landing her at a career-best number 49, the highest ranking ever achieved by a Filipino in the sport's history. This leap forward didn't happen by accident. It was earned through a blend of courage, precision, and a maturity that belies her age. In Auckland, Eala conquered several top 80 opponents, including victories over Donna Vikic, number 69, Petra Marcinko, number 82, and Magda Linette, number 52. Performances that signaled she was ready to compete consistently at the highest level. From Miami breakout to top 50. To fully appreciate this moment, one must look back at the defining chapters of Eala's recent career. The 2025 season was nothing short of a breakthrough. With a wildcard entry into the prestigious Miami Open, she stunned the tennis world by dismantling formidable opponents, chief among them, then reigning Australian Open champion Madison Keys, world number 5, and former world number 1 Iga Swiatek, en route to making the semifinals of a WTA 1000 event. That run was historic in multiple dimensions. She became the first Filipino player in history to reach the semifinals of a WTA 1000 event, as she recorded her first wins over top 5 and top 10 players, including Keys and Swiatek. She cracked the WTA top 100 for the first time. Miami was more than a breakout. It was a seismic shift. From number 140 at the start of the year, Eala's stock shot skyward, reshaping expectations and rewriting the metrics by which Filipino tennis history is measured. A journey paved with firsts. Eala's path has been one of consistent progression, studded with firsts that not only define her personal journey but also the story of tennis in the Philippines. Junior success. She won the 2022 US Open Junior Singles title, becoming the first Filipino to capture a junior Grand Slam singles crown. Historical Miami run, 2025. In addition to her wins over elite players, she became the first wildcard in WTA history to dispatch 3 major champions in straight sets at a single event. Grand Slam main draw wins. Later in 2025, Eala etched her name even deeper in history at the U.S. Open by becoming the first Filipino, male or female, to win a singles match in a Grand Slam main draw, completing a thrilling comeback victory against Clara Tauson in an epic 3-setter. WTA title success. She also added a WTA 125 title to her resume in Guadalajara, further proving her ability to finish strong and seize opportunities when they matter most. Each of these achievements speaks to the evolution of a young athlete who refuses to be defined by limits and expectations. The weight of representation. For many Filipino and Southeast Asian fans, Eala's rise holds significance far beyond ranking points. She represents a generation driven by possibility, an athlete whose presence on the tour revitalizes hopes in regions historically underrepresented in tennis. Her joyful, passionate play, combined with an unwavering competitive spirit, has turned her into a role model for countless young aspiring athletes. Her success is often spoken of not just in terms of personal trophies, but in terms of national pride, inspiring a new wave of fans and players in a country where tennis has long been overshadowed by other sports. Melbourne beckons, a first main draw for the Australian Open. Now, as the Australian Open looms, Eala's story reaches an enticing new chapter. Unlike previous editions where she had to fight through qualifying rounds, her top 50 ranking has secured direct entry into the main draw for the first time. This milestone is especially compelling. The Australian Open remained the only Grand Slam where she hadn't yet competed in the main draw, even as she made appearances at Roland Garros, Wimbledon, and the US Open. In between Auckland and Melbourne, Eala also participated in the Kooyong Classic, an elite exhibition event that serves as a final dress rehearsal for the Open. Beyond rankings, growth, resilience, and vision. Rankings are quantitative, but growth is qualitative. Eala's progress reflects consistency. She has gone from promising junior to legitimate threat on the WTA Tour in under 3 years. Composure. She handles high-pressure points with poise, a trait crucial for deep runs in Grand Slams. Versatility. Her game adapts to different surfaces and opponents, a necessary skill for sustained success.